Catherine Ortiz, Advanced Communication, Silver. Come on up.
Today, almost exactly to the day, a year ago, I gave my icebreaker speech in this club. Some of you may remember that. I told the story of how I ended up 50 years ago buying a one-way ticket to Madrid with no job, basically just what was in my pockets, my suitcase, and my guitar. The first year, what didn't happen just can't even be imagined. I think I talked about a fun ride with a taxi driver from the airport who pulled over to the side of the road. And I thought, now I'm a goner. Well, after that, a little bit more crime happened. My problem was I had never lived in a big city. I was brought up in several different places in the US, but always suburbs, quiet, sleepy little suburbs. I had no knowledge of getting around on public transport in a big city. And as my British flatmates warned me, pickpockets, oh, there's pickpockets everywhere. Well, I never had my pocket picked the whole time I was there. But I did get mugged. Oh, twice. Crime was on the rise in Spain. It was just after Franco died. The new democracy was not even really formed. And people said, look, the economy is crashing. There's lots of unemployment. So watch yourself out in the street. Okay, when do you think you'd get mugged? Where do you think you'd get mugged? In a dark alley late at night. Oh no, I got mugged right in the vestibule of a bank in broad daylight. I was there in the winter, thankfully with my winter coat on, and all of a sudden I was at the ATM checking my balance, and I feel this poke in my back. Alrighty, what could that be? Well, it was a switchblade. And a voice behind me said, don't move, take out the maximum amount of your account and hand it to me and you will not be hurt. At this point I was about to melt into the floor. I was shaking, I got the money out, I gave it to him. Oh, but wait, this is supposed to have some humor in it. Do you know what this guy did? He took my maximum limit of 100,000 pesetas, which was about $1,500 at the time. And then he pulled out a bill as I was just about to melt into the floor forever and said, here, you probably need this for food for the weekend.
Wow.
My second experience was coming home from work. I worked at a language academy, taught English classes, and it was payday. Payday was always the last day of the month, and many companies paid you cold cash in a little brown envelope, which I had in my book bag with my books. And I'm walking along thinking, oh, I'm just going to take the shortcut to the supermarket where I wanted to go. The shortcut was in a very sleepy neighborhood, and there was a big empty lot, sort of a rectangle. And I thought, I'm just going to cut across there, it's shorter. So I'm walking across the empty lot. All of a sudden, a car drives into the empty lot, full speed, screeches to a halt, and this guy gets out and comes at me like a gorilla. Ah! Oh, that did me in. What do you do? I went, about 10 feet back. And then he stopped and got back in the car. And so once again, I'm left thinking, what the heck was that? And I'm kind of trembling, and I put my stuff in my bag, walking across the empty lot to get to where the sidewalk was. still thinking, what was that? Well, I soon found out, because that car went around the block, came up, and I heard a voice say, "Ahora por el bolso, now for the handbag." They grabbed me by, thankfully, my winter coat, dragged me along several yards with my ear next to the wheel, and finally, they got my handbag, which I didn't know they were trying to do. I just pretty much figured they wanted to kill me for no reason. Once again, where is the funny part here? Actually, there isn't a funny part. I lost my month's salary, my passport was in my bag, and the only nice thing was a gentleman came up to me afterwards, an old gentleman who had seen it but couldn't move fast enough to really do anything. And he said, "Come, come, I will take you to the comisaria," which is the local police station. That was my first year in Spain. I'm leaving out the car accident. That's where I had, because it's nothing to do with crime except the crime on my face of 150 stitches and a few plastic surgery operations. So you may be asking yourself, woman, why didn't you go home? That happened in your first year? My friends wondered. My family wondered. But I did not wonder, because I said, I am going to make it here, one way or the other. And that was most of the horrible stuff that didn't happen in the 22 following years that I spent in Spain. So that is my story. And we'll see if we continue with more. I'll try not to overdo it with Spain.